Welcome to the last video in our series, 5 Tips for Starting a Meditation Practice. Now, although meditation can be really helpful in many different ways, the extent to which it is helpful depends on how often we do it. So in that sense, it's dose dependent. So what these 5 tips really recognize is that it's very easy for us to condition ourselves not to like the practice and not to want to make a habit of it because we don't like it. We didn't have a good experience. So these 5 tips are all about how to counter that and give ourselves a good experience. The first and most important one was how to build a mindset before we even sit down. A mindset that values what we're trying to achieve in the practice. So once we build that mindset, so we're really clear about why we're doing the practice and that this is something we want to do. The 4 other strategies basically support that by giving us a good experience at the very beginning, the best experience we can possibly have. So we looked at using focused attention meditation first because I think it gives us the best, most supportive model of the mind for beginners. Then we looked at doing short sessions rather than long sessions at the beginning. So maybe meditating for 4 or 5 minutes at a time, maybe twice a day or 3 times a day. The reason for that is that it's much easier to have a good experience, even if it's only like 10 seconds long in a short session. And once you kind of have a taste of that good experience, it kind of builds up your enthusiasm to want to do it again and again. And then you can start lengthening the practice from beyond 5 minutes to maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and so on. We talked about sitting on the floor in a mat and a cushion rather than sitting in a chair. Again, for the same reason, it gives you a really good experience at the very beginning, right? You're sitting low to the floor with your behind up and your knees both on the mat, and there's a sense of stability and alertness with that is difficult to get in a chair. And the last tip we looked at was not using a guided meditation because guided meditations, I think, can be distracting for beginners. That's the first thing. And secondly, I think they subtly undermine our confidence in our ability to do this on our own. These 4 tips work in such a way then that once we've set this mindset at the beginning that this is something that I want to do, right? These are qualities of mind that I want to train myself in. When we have a really good experience at the beginning, it just reinforces that. Right? Then you're thinking, wow, I did not make a mistake, right? This is really something I want to explore. Now I've had a taste of it. Now I know what people are talking about. So in the next video series, we're going to talk about an aspect of the human personality that I think we are all born with, simply by being human, but I think many of us don't recognize in ourselves. And if we do recognize it, we're really not very confident that it's something that's helpful to us or something that we would want to train in. And that is loving kindness. Right? The capacity to feel unconditional warmth or affection or gratitude for another being, human or otherwise. And we're going to look at what it is. We're going to look at how to identify it in our own experience. We're going to look at why we would want to train in it. And finally, we're going to look at how to train in it. So I hope to see you then. Thanks.